Hi, I'm Karen of Karmic Voyage, and here's a quick, easy class for you to enjoy doing some gentle stretching and some yoga pose, a little bit of mindfulness, and some mudra and some breath work. We're going to first start by coming into a comfortable seated posture. Again, modify wherever you need to. You know your body best. Hands onto the knees. I want you to press the hands down onto the knees, pulling up, lengthening that spine. Take your shoulders up towards your ears, bring them onto the back. Release those shoulders down. Press the belly button to your back wall. And again, lengthen by pulling the crown of the head towards the ceiling. As we ground the hands down, feel the sit bones connecting back to Mother Earth. And then we're going to come into a nice breath here. So you're going to take your right hand onto your heart, place the left hand on top of that heart, and then find yourself inhaling slowly through the nose and gently out through the mouth. And continue with this breath in through the nose and out through the breath. And with each inhale, expand the belly. And with each exhale, deflate the belly. And then I ask you close your eyes and continue with this breath. And set an intention for what you want your practice to bring to you. And then take 2 more breaths. Slow inhale and slow exhale. And last one. Release the hands down, bring them along the side body. We're going to extend the legs, bounce them out, and move the sit bones from side to side. As you reconnect the palms back to the earth, we're going to come into staff pose, bringing our body to stillness. Flex the feet, and again, lengthen the spine, pulling the crown of the head, shoulders up, onto the back, belly button pressed back, into staff pose. Here, focus on the rooting of the sit bones back to grounding, back to Mother Earth. And then lift those arms up. We're going to take them above the head, lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. And as we do this, we're going to open them up a little bit wider. Again, funneling that heavenly energy back down to us. And then change the gaze up. Look up to the ceiling, the heavens, lifting the throat, lifting the heart. And then bring those hands to prayer above the head. And slowly release them down, back in front of the heart. Drop your chin to the chest. Take a nice, again, slow, deep breath in. And a gentle release, exhaling out through the mouth. Take your hands down onto the thighs and slide forward, coming into seated forward bend. Take those hands down as far as you can. Flex those feet. Take the chin to the chest, releasing forehead down towards the knees. Here, as you press forward, press the belly button also back so that you can feel the body moving in 2 different directions. With flexed feet, you can feel the back of the legs also lengthening, as well as that spine release and shoulder opener. Here, take an inhale, lift the gaze up, taking the body all the way up, and then exhale, refold. See if you can take those hands down a little bit further, lengthening that spine. Then find yourself slowly taking the hands off to the right, both fingers onto the mat, lifting the palms and the wrists. Walk the hands over towards that right side. Gentle twist here, feeling on the left side body. Coming back to center, back to hands onto the legs. Again, fold forward. Then move the hands over to the left. Again, spider fingers, taking the hands, only connecting the finger pads, and walking it over towards the left. Gently releasing. Nice little twist. Feel that right side body stretch. And then come back to center. Find the hands connecting to the legs and press all the way down again. Stretching, stretching, stretching. And then sliding those hands all the way back up. We're going to bring our right sole of the foot into that inner left leg. So again, you're going to modify. You can bring that heel up as close to the body as possible, But if that's not for you, adjust. Bring it low, bring it up into the thigh, whatever works. We're going to lift those arms up again, lengthening. And as we do this, straighten those arms, tailbone down to the earth. We're going to twist to the right. So you're going to find yourself inhaling and bringing left hand over to the right knee. Right hand behind you. You're going to gaze over that right shoulder. Now as we do this, you can see the torso twist, the shift in the neck. Again, finger pads. Right, the right hand is lifted with the wrist and the palm. And as you look over, if the neck is not able to twist, again, use the gaze, flex that left foot. We're going to lift those fingers off the mat, and we're going to send them over towards the left toes. So right fingers come down. Again, look underneath the right arm. Make that arm into a nice little arch. So whether you're high or low, you can gaze underneath. Side body stretch again. And then slowly release. You're going to come back up. And we're going to counter this twist. Right hand outside the left knee. Left hand behind you. Look over that shoulder. Again, use the eyes if the neck is not going to twist and turn. And also, finger pads again, connect to the floor. Come back to center. Hands onto that left thigh. Fold forward. Again, lengthening. Find your hands onto that left leg. If you would like, connect to some part, whether it's at the thigh, the knee, the calf, all the way to the foot, whatever works. And then drop the chin to the chest. Release forward. Forehead to the knee. Again, press that belly button backwards, really lengthening that spine. We're going to slide those hands up. We're going to extend that right leg, bounce it out, and then switch sides. Take that right leg, straighten it out, connect that heel, and then bring that left heel, sole of the foot, somewhere inside that right leg. Now again, modify where you can. If some injuries, adjust. One side might be better than the other. Lock that heel, release those arms up, pull, pull, pull. Again, straightening up that spine, really getting the crown of the head and the fingers towards the heavens. And then twist. We go to the left this time. Right hand goes to that left knee. Left hand comes back behind you. Look over the shoulder, connect finger pads of that left hand. Gaze over the shoulder, find yourself twisting. Releasing that torso area, nice massage for all the organs and digestive tract here. And then we're going to take those fingers. We're going to lift them over the head, sending them towards those right toes. So left fingers towards right toes. Find yourself bending down as far as you can, whether you're up or low. Gaze underneath that left arm. Make it like a rainbow arch. Looking underneath, feeling that stretch all along left side body. And then slowly straighten yourself out. We're going to counter the twist. Left hand comes outside right knee. Right hand comes back behind you. Gaze over that shoulder. Again, if you can't take the neck and twist, use the eyes. And then come back to center. Bringing yourself all the way forward. Hands onto that right thigh. Slide down. Taking the arms down as far as you can. And then forehead to knee. Taking it down, chin to the chest. Release, feel that stretch, pull the belly button back. So you're moving in those two different directions. And then slide those hands all the way back up. Take the legs out, bounce them. Find yourself rocking your sit bones, moving from side to side. We're going to find ourselves taking our body down to the mat. So you're going to come onto your back. We're going to continue to work the hips here, so take it down, straightening the body out. You're going to gaze up at the ceiling. You're going to take the arms overhead. So you're pulling arms in one direction and heels in the opposite. Look up, tilt the chin towards the ceiling. Reach. You're going to lock your thumbs. So you're going to take your thumbs together and then pull those arms out towards your side walls and really feel the lengthening of that spine. Release the tongue here. Find yourself softening the face. No stress around the jawline, no stress around the eyes. And then take those arms down. Taking them along the hips, you're going to drop the palms down and bring your knees to the chest. As you bring the knees to the chest, Wrap the arms around the front of the knees or behind the knees, whatever works best for you, and then gently rock from side to side. As you take the body towards the left and the right, make sure your low back, tailbone connects to the mat, coming into that first chakra, grounding. Here we're going to drop the knees over towards that left side. You're going to take your left hand outside that right knee and extend your right arm. You're going to gaze over at that right palm. Gentle twist again. You can feel it in the neck and side body. Lower torso going one direction, upper body going in the opposite. Soften the face by releasing the tongue off the roof of the mouth. And then come back to center. Bring those arms around the knees. Rock again, side to side. And then switch. Take the knees down to the right. Take your right hand outside the left knees and extend that left palm. Gaze at that left hand. And once again, find yourself feeling that gentle twist. Legs bent going one direction, upper body going the opposite. Close the eyes. Take a nice deep breath here. In through the nose, and we're going to release it out through the mouth. Come back to center, taking the knees again back into the chest. We're going to take that right sole of foot down to the mat. You have two options of keeping the right sole of foot connected or extending it all the way out and wrapping the arms around the front of the left knee or behind the left knee. Press that leg into the body. Again, you know what's good for you. Gaze up at the ceiling and then find yourself doing nose to knee again. Lifting up on a deep breath, taking it up on the exhale, nose towards the knee. Press that low back down. We're engaging the core. Hold it here and then take it back. Lift that left leg up to the ceiling. Interlace the fingers behind the back of the leg and press the leg into the hand. If that doesn't work for you, grab each side of that left thigh and then start with the point. We're releasing the front leg muscles. Again, do what you can here. Engage those arms by continuing to press that leg and then do the flex. Here's the challenge of the back of the leg. Make sure your right foot is locked down, the heel is pressed, and then go back to the point here. Feel that nice stretch and come back into the flex. Here we go. Then we're going to release the ankles. So you're going to take little circles, pick a direction, and then go in the opposite direction. And then when you're finished, bring that leg back down to the chest, arms in front or behind the leg, whatever works for you. Bring it in as close as you can. Hold it here, and then again, we're going to lift. Inhale, take the nose up to the knee. Nice strength here with the body, bringing the tailbone down to the mat, engaging those core area, that whole belly area for us. And then release back down, and then take that left sole of the foot down to the floor. Now you're going to bring that right knee back into the chest, and depending on your low back, you can keep that left sole of the foot there, or you can extend it all the way out. What works best for you, keep it that way. And then with the leg here, again, either behind the leg or the front of the leg, you're going to do the engaging that core group. So inhale and then lift nose to knee, press down, make sure that tailbone, low back is connected, and you could feel yourself even shaking, and then release slowly back down. Take that right leg, extend it up to the ceiling, hands again, interlace behind the leg, and then press the leg so the arms are straight and engaged, or too much for you, take it to the side of the leg, just support it. Whatever works, then you're going to start with the point. As we point, again, you can feel the muscles all in that front of the leg, stretching, so good for us. And then take that flex, take that heel up, a little bit more of a challenge, doesn't feel as nice, but you know that you're stretching all the back of the leg. And then go back to the point, and take it to the flex, and then back again. Let's start moving those ankles. Pick a direction, one way, and then switch it to the opposite way, giving those ankles a little bit of break, a little bit of loving right here. And then find yourself bringing it to stillness. taking it down right into the body again, the knee, front of the knee or behind the knee, whatever works, bringing that leg in as close to the body. Here again, last time, nose to nape. Ready? Lift on that inhale, hold it. Keep that head up. If that's no good for you, keep the head and shoulders down to the mat. But for nose and knee, press the low back. Last time we engaged that core here. Take your head and shoulders down. We're going to go back to the full stretch. So you're going to extend that right leg, left leg, and take those arms overhead. We're lengthening the spine. This is the way our energy flows through the body. Lock those hands again through the thumbs and then pull out. Arms are alongside the ears. Tilt your chin up. Release the tongue here. We're going to soften the face. Listen to the breath. Nice and slow. Inhale through the nose. Nice slow exhale out through the nose. And then take those hands down along the side body. Reclined butterfly. Great way to open up the hips. Both soles of the feet come to the mat. You're going to press your soles of the feet together. You're going to let those knees drop down. As you drop those knees down, hands come onto those hip bones. Butterfly. So whether your knees are high, super tight hips, or flat smack down to the ground, super flexible hips, find your space. Hands onto the hips. We're going to come into flapping butterfly. You're going to rub those hip bones, nurture that hip area, opening up. So flapping butterfly wings, we're nurturing with our hands clockwise and counterclockwise direction. And then bring your hands and your knees to stillness. You're going to feel that you can feel the heel and the baby toe side of your feet connected, but the big toes are separate. I want you to wiggle your big toes and feel that. And then bring your hands in prayer. So you have butterfly legs, prayer hands, and we're going to find ourselves extending. We're going to extend those arms over the head. As you do that, you're going to take them, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. So the arms are straight. You connect the thumbs down back to the mat. You're going to tilt your chin up, and you're going to extend your right leg. You've come in from butterfly legs now to tree legs. You're in reclined tree. Find yourself looking up at the heavens and ceiling, locking that right heel. See if you can bring that left sole of the foot somewhere inside that right upper thigh, or modify wherever you need to. And then slowly bring those hands back down to the heart, keeping it right there. And we're going to switch. You're going to extend your left leg. You're going to take your right sole of the foot to the mat and then drop it, coming into tree legs, finding that sole of the foot somewhere inside that inner left thigh, or modify it by taking it down. Do what works for you. And then once again, extending those arms. So take those arms up and out, coming into reclined tree. Lock that left heel. Pull those fingers in the opposite direction. You're going to feel that nice side body stretch all the way up the arm, all the way from the hip. As again, you gaze up, release the tongue, soften the face. Practice of finding your own balance and peace and harmony within. No stress. Let go. And then release those hands down. We're going to stop the thumbs this time right at that brow point. Here's an energy wheel chakra for your intuitiveness. I want you to visualize the color purple here. Bring it in, expand it with clarity. And then release those hands down in front of the heart. Again, connecting. Right here at the heart, we're going to find ourselves taking those hands all the way down, extending that right leg to join the left. Bounce it out. Release those legs. We're going to come into a pose called bridge. So you're going to take the left foot and the right foot back to the mat. Your hands are outside of the hips. Separate your fingers. From here, as you find your feet hip distance apart, you're going to take a nice deep breath in. I want you to wiggle your toes, and on the exhale, lift up those hips. You're going to take them up as high as you can. And here, again, modify. You're going to take your hands underneath your body, if that works for you, and you're going to bring your right shoulder and left shoulder onto the back. Take those hips even higher. As you lift up, once again, wiggle your toes. Find yourself not gripping to your mat and coming into full bridge. Now you're gazing up at the ceiling, and you can feel the challenge in the upper thigh. So here the quadriceps are definitely engaged. And we're going to see if we can take it onto our toes. So you're going to lift your heels up. So as you lift your heels up, you're going to come onto your tippy toes. You might be able to bring those legs in a little bit closer, lifting up that torso. So now you're bridge on your toes. And again, you're going to feel this in the back of your legs, your calves, even your foot. And then we're going to take it back down. Wiggle those toes. Release the hands down. Take that low back to the mat. Bring those knees into the chest again. Nice here. Rock from side to side. Now the hips hold a lot of stress. It's one of those storage areas. So we're going to come back to center. We're going to take the soles of the feet back to the mat. We're going to do a pose called thread the needle. You're going to take your right ankle and place it onto your left knee. You're going to let that right knee kind of drop open. You're going to start to take your knee, left knee, into the chest. Now you're going to feel this on the right hip. It's a bit challenging, so you'll have to modify if you need to. You bring down the foot. If you can stay with us, please do. Flex your foot. Make sure that your shin is parallel to the ground. And it's called thread the needle for a reason. You're going to take your right hand and thread it through, bringing it to your left thigh. You can bring that left hand behind and pull that leg in a little bit closer. Now the head and shoulders stay on the floor. So if you can't bring the hands here, you can keep the hands down along the side body. With your foot flexed and parallel, you can even take it up maybe to that shin area. Now again, if you have to lift the head and shoulders up, keep the hands lower. This is a big right hip, outer hip opener. So even though I don't look challenged, I'm screaming inside. Hang in there. You probably will feel it. We're releasing. We're bringing some flexibility and some space into that right hip. So connect to the breath. It's a slow inhale through the nose. And we're going to release here out through the mouth again. So it's inhaling through the nose and releasing out through the mouth. And we're visualizing anything we've stored here. Releasing. If it's time to let it go, free it. And we're going to do one more inhale and release out through the mouth. And then we're going to free our hands no matter where they were. We're going to take that left sole of the foot first down to the floor and then bring that right sole of the foot. We're going to come into a pose called Teepee. So you're going to widen your feet to the edges of your mat and drop the knees. Hands outside the hips. Again, find yourself coming into this neutral space. Rub those hips out. So that right hip has been challenged. Give it a little rub. Give that left hip a little rub too. Counterclockwise, clockwise, whatever works for you. And then bring those hands down back to the mat. Heel toe your feet so that they are reconnected. We're going to find ourselves switching this time. You're going to bring your left sole of the foot onto that right knee and let that left knee drop open. When you are ready, you can bring that right knee towards the chest. Again, flex the foot, making sure your leg is parallel to the ground. And again, here's the thread the needle part. So you're going to take your left hand, thread it so that you can bring a hand behind that right thigh, and then bring that right hand to join it. Now, if this is too challenging, you know to modify, work with what works for you. Here, again, head and shoulders are on the mat. You're going to feel this in the outer left hip. If you can take your hands onto that right shin, and as you bring that leg closer, again, the burn is in that hip area. You're definitely going to feel the challenge here. No matter how many times you do it, it always feels a little bit of a challenge. Gaze is up at the ceiling. You're going to start that breath, inhaling and exhaling through the mouth. Now, whether your hands are on the shins, behind the leg, or down on the thigh, down on the ground, you're going to find yourself, again, just connecting and letting go. What's ever on this side, we're going to free it up, release it. It doesn't serve us anymore. And then when you are ready, making sure the head and shoulders are still on the mat, you're going to free the hands and you're going to start to release, letting the right sole of the foot come down to the mat and then taking that left sole of the foot down. Now to close where we've done our hip openers, we're going to come back to butterfly. So you're going to take the soles of the feet, connect them, press them all the way so that your knees can start to drop, hands on the hips. Take a little bounce here, freeing up those hips, bringing some softness. And then bring them to stillness. Come back to that quiet place. Bring those heels in as close as you can. Let those knees drop. Again, tighter the hips, your knees are going to be higher. No worries. Keep practicing. They'll get down there sooner or later. Maybe never. Take your hands in front of your heart. Prayer hands. Come back to bringing a little smile to your face. Resting, relaxing through breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the nose this time. Find yourself going deep within. And then find yourself releasing the hands down, extending that left leg and right leg. We're going to come onto our belly. So we're going to roll onto one side, come all the way onto your belly, and you're going to come into a pose called Sphinx. So Sphinx is a great low back stretch. You're going to find yourself coming onto your elbows. You're going to separate your fingers. Your shoulders are over the elbows, and your feet are hip distance apart. It's a nice low back stretch. I want you to wiggle your hip bones from side to side. Very simple, very, very, very helpful for low back. And as you find yourself, I don't want you to overstress the neck. Make sure that the neck follows up right back from the back, and just find yourself settling. Close the eyes. And then we're going to do a little bit of a twist. So you're going to lift up the left foot. You're going to flex it. And you're going to look over that right shoulder. So here's the twist. You're going to kind of stretch the neck, and you're going to feel that stretch in the mid-back now. So as you look over the shoulder, again, if that doesn't work for you, use the eyes. Just try to get that as you're gazing back, trying to see that left foot. And we're going to come back to center. We're going to switch sides. You're going to look over that left shoulder. And again, we're moving from low back to mid-back. And then come back to center. We're going to switch feet. Take that left foot down, bring that right foot up, flex it. Once again, look at over the opposite shoulder. So you're going to take it over that left side. And again, do what you can. If it doesn't work with the neck twist, use the gaze. And then come back to center and look over that right shoulder. And again, from that low back, we do a lot of stuff that sometimes the back gets challenged. So these little stretches really, really help keeping yourself limber and flexible. And then come back. Release that right foot down. We're going to do one of my favorite poses. And for those of you who have joined me many times, you'll know what this is. It's called half frog with thread the needle twist. So we're going to start on the right side. You're going to bring your right knee up as far as you can. So it can be right outside that hip area. If that doesn't work, you do what's best for you, and you're going to flex your foot. So if you look back, you look like you are half a frog. The next part with the thread the needle is you're going to take your right arm and extend it, and you'll see that my elbow is lifted, and again, I'm only connecting the finger pads. We're going to take our left arm underneath. This is the thread the needle part, and then we're going to open our right arm. We're going to let that head and shoulder connect back to the mat, so there's no stress here. So right arm is open, the palm is facing up, and you're going to take your left hand onto your frog leg. And so it feels amazing. You're going to release the tongue here, soften your face, and you have this full body twist. You're opening the shoulder, you're opening the hip, the neck, and you're giving that torso a nice little twist. And here, connect to the breath, come back, close the eyes, settle into this space. And we have to come back, so we're going to come back to Sphinx. So you're going to extend that leg, come onto your shoulder, to your elbows. Make sure again the shoulder is over the elbows. Move those hip bones from side to side. Now the good news on this one is you get to do this one on all yoga poses, each side. So you're going to start again. This time you're going to take that left knee up. You know the drill. You're going to look behind you. You're going to see that flexed foot. So you bring the knee up as high as the hip or somewhere in between. You want to look like you have half a frog. Once again, you're going to take your left hand out. You're going to keep it onto the finger pad so the elbow is lifted, and you're going to thread the needle. So you're going to find yourself this time taking the right arm underneath. You're going to drop the shoulder, drop the head, and then you're going to open up. As you take that left arm, you can feel that nice stretch in the shoulder. You're going to find your right hand, because this is always a challenge, right and left hands in yoga. Find that right hand and place it outside that frog left leg. And here we go again with this beautiful stretch. Close the eyes, gaze up at the ceiling, release the tongue. So I say that often because we tend to put a lot of stress in the face. So none around the jawline, none around the eyes. And then we connect back to the breath. And then slowly release that arm down. Come back into your Sphinx. Rock those hip bones. Wiggle, wiggle, squiggle. And settle. Sphinx. Nice low back, mid-back and twist stretches on our belly. We're going to leave the belly and we're going to come onto our hands and knees. We're going to come into tabletop. So as you come on up into tabletop, you're going to find yourself coming into ready our cat-cow sequence. And so from here, separate your fingers. Make again, shoulders over wrists, super important. The tops of the feet are going to connect. We're going to inhale. As you drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the head. This is our cow. We're going to exhale. You're going to arch the back, chin to the chest, releasing all the way up into cat. And then you're going to find your sequence. You're going to go inhaling into cow, and then nice and slow, breathing out, exhaling, releasing into cat. Find your flow here. So make it very long and deep breathing, and make sure that you're connecting the breath with the body motion. And then do one more cow, and then one more cat, lifting all the way up. Wonderful. And then when you are ready, you're going to see if you can take your left toes out and back behind you. They're going to connect to the mat. We're going to start by lifting up that right arm. As we take that right arm up, nice shoulder over here. So your arm is straight up. Again, you're going to modify, your body. Separate your fingers. You're going to look up at that palm. As you look up at that palm, you're going to press that shoulder back as far as you can. You can look up or look down, depending on where that neck is right now. And you're connected. Feel that support of that left arm. And we're going to take it down. So you're going to take that hand down. You're going to find yourself gazing down at the mat. We're going to come into a pose called sunbird. So this is super important that your shoulders are over that wrist. You're going to lift up your left toes. Your hip and heel are in alignment. And you're going to see if you can take out the opposite arm. So the left toes go back, right arm goes forward. You're gazing down at the floor, probably about 1.5 feet in front of you. And fingers forward, heel back. Nice alignment here of sunbird. Working balance. Now you can take that palm and face it in or down at the mat. Hold it here and breathe. And then release. You're going to take the hand down, knee down. You're going to find yourself releasing that wrist. Clockwise and counterclockwise circles. We need to nurture here. And then we're going to arch our back into cat. That's our nice pose for the release. And then take it back down. Back to that neutral spine. You're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So you're going to take, this time, the right toes back out and behind you. As the toes connect, again, make sure the shoulders are over the wrist. It's super important to stay in balance here. You're going to lift up that left arm. As you lift up that left arm, again, you can look up or down. Separate your fingers. The goal is to keep this at 12 o'clock. You can move it from side to side if you're not sure where that is, and then settle. As you find the gaze, press that shoulder back. Shoulders are the other place we keep our stress. So it's time to let that go. The toes are connected. Feel it. And then release that hand down. You're going to find yourself coming back into our beginning pose of getting ready for our sunbird. So you're going to take those right toes up off the mat. The heel presses back. The toes are down. Gaze is a couple, 1.5 feet in front of you, and then you're going to extend that arm out. So you're going to lift up that left arm, the right heel is back, toes are down, and you're moving in those two different directions. Again, do what you can. The palm can come flat towards the floor, or it can come towards you as we stretch. Pulling the fingers forward, heel back. This is great for the kidneys, great for the left and right side of the brain, and great for the stress release in the adrenal glands. Hold it here, and then take it down. Knee comes in, release that right wrist. So you're going to go clockwise and counterclockwise circles. Our goal, of course, nurture, nurture, nurture for our support. and then come down to the mat. We're going to find ourselves moving into a more standing pose now. So we're going to find ourselves standing, taking a step forward with each of the legs and bringing our hands onto that thigh area. So when we come into standing forward bend, I want you guys to play with the balance of lifting the heels and the toes up, coming into moving the weight forward and back. When you are ready and you feel that the weight is evenly distributed, I want you to make sure that your two fists can fit between the feet. That's our way to know that that's hip distance for you. And from the hands onto the thighs, you can see if you can slide those hands down. Standing forward bend. Now take your right hand to the left elbow, left hand to the right elbow, making that little box. Place your head in the box and allow that weight to pull you further down. Now if it's more comfortable keeping your hands on your thighs or your shins, please do. Standing forward bend. Release the tongue, wiggle your toes, lift, see if you can separate and bring them down. And then gently find yourself coming into the full pose. Make sure the weight is evenly distributed between the front and the back of your foot. And then we're going to release those arms. We're going to come up one vertebrae at a time. So you're going to slowly come up, bringing those arms out to the side body, all the way over the head. We're going to interlace the fingers and we're going to stretch them all the way up to the heavens. Your gaze is forward here. Press those feet to the earth and then look up towards those palms. As we do that, lifting up the heart, opening the throat. And then we're going to bring our hands back into prayer. So you're going to release the hands and press those palms together. You're now going to grab your right hand to the left wrist. Pull that left arm up. And don't come over gently to the right side. You can come into crescent moon. So your left heel presses down. You're going to have that nice side body stretch as you move to the right side. Now we're going to come back to center. We're going to switch. You're going to take your left hand to the right wrist and pull over. And again, as you move to the left side, take that right heel down to the mat. Again, nice side body stretch, super important. And then release the hands all the way down. We're going to find ourselves bringing the hands to the hips. We're going to widen our stance. We're going to come to a pose called Starfish. So you're going to find those arms lifting up, shoulder height. So you're pulling the fingers out in two different directions. Your feet well rooted to the earth, Starfish. You're going to bring those arms overhead and come into star, pulling up. So you're connecting up towards the heavens, lengthening that spine and connecting the feet back to the earth. And then slowly drop those hands down, back into prayer position in front of the heart. Drop your chin to the chest. Close the eyes, reconnect, reroute. We're going to come into our warrior sequence. So you're going to take your hands onto your hips. From Starfish, it's super easy. You're going to take your right toes forward. You're going to take your left back foot at a 45-degree angle. You're going to start to bend that front right knee. Make sure that knee is over that ankle so you can see very clearly. Look down, you can only see your big toe. Now we're going to move our torso towards the front so you have a nice twist here, and then extend those arms up. They are shoulder height, so check your back arm. So if it's a little low or a little high, gather that back. And then we're going to take that gaze back to the front fingertips. Right fingertips. Warrior two. Powerful little pose. Make sure that you are connected. So if you need to pull your torso up a little bit so the torso is over the hips, pull those left fingers to the back wall. Now again, hang here. Very challenging pose, very powerful. We're going to drop into peaceful warrior. So you're going to take your left hand down to your left thigh and take your right palm up. Now you're going to still keep that front knee bend. If it's too challenging, you need a little break, straighten it up before we start and then go back to the bend. Start to slide that left hand down and take that right arm over your head. You're going to gaze up at that right palm, looking up. Feel that nice stretch again. You're going to feel it from your right hip all the way up. Revolved or peaceful warrior, gazing up at that palm. And then we're going to come back to warrior two. We're going to straighten that front knee because it is challenging. We're going to hold it here. We're going to do a very, very, very modified triangle. So you're going to take your right hand down. You can bring it onto the thigh or right to the knee or below the knee. And you're going to bring that left arm up towards the sky. Again, 12 o'clock, palm is facing forward. You can gaze up or you can keep the gaze down or somewhere in between. If you'd like, you can slide it all the way down to the ankle, even touch the floor. But for most of us, just keep it on the knee and then come back up. We're going to go right to starfish. So you're going to take your toes and you're going to face them forward again. Your arms are still up. And we're going to bring it back to star. We're going to bring those prayer hands above the head, pull them up, lengthen, 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 and then release. Right down back to the heart. Drop the chin to the chest. Settle here the breath if that was a little bit challenging for you. In and out through the nose here. Again, close the eyes. Settle. Feel the feet pressing back to the earth, regrounding you. And then we'll do it onto the other side. So hands come back to the hips. We're going to come into warrior two, opposite way. So you're going to take the left foot, toes point forward. Again, adjust if you have to. Right foot is going to come to that 45-degree angle. You're going to start to bend that front knee. We're going to see our left knee over the left ankle. You're going to look down. You're going to make sure all you see is your big toe. From here, again, we're going to raise those arms up. You're going to make sure that torso is facing forward. That back arm is the same height as the front arm. When you are settled, if you need to, you can pull those right fingertips to bring the body a little bit more upright if you're leaning forward or leaning back, or readjust. And then change your gaze to the front fingertips. You're now looking at the left hand, and you're in your warrior two. Find yourself settling. If you'd like, close the eyes, start to breathe. Feel the power in the pose. Hang in there. And then we're going to go into that peaceful warrior. Really important. We're going to find ourselves, if you need to, straighten that leg first, front leg, just to get yourself back so there's not too much stress or strain on that leg. And then come back in. Drop your right hand onto your right thigh. Take that left palm up to the ceiling and then start to slide. You're going to slide that hand down and come into this beautiful pose of grace while you bring that left arm up above the head. You're going to be looking into that palm as if it was a mirror. You're in peaceful or revolved warrior. And as we look up, again, feel that stretch from that right leg down and that left hip up. Hold it here and then come back up. You're going to return to warrior two. Here's the challenge. You want to straighten that leg. It's getting tired now. We're going to come in again to that modified triangle. So you can pull forward and then start to release that hand down right at the knee, maybe higher if it works for you, a little bit lower, and taking that right arm up, facing palm forward, separate your fingers, triangle. Now some of you, again, can take it all the way down, can do whatever you like here. Again, you know that if you know the pose, go for what works for you. And then we're going to lift back up, coming into star. So bring those toes forward. I love starfish. We're going to hold it here. Catch the breath. Arms up. Back to our star. Pull up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then from prayer hands, taking down in front of the heart, drop the chin to the chest. We're going to do one last pose standing to close the practice. We're going to take our hands onto the hips. God to come into goddess. Let's come out. So you're going to take your toes and point them out. You're going to take your hands on the hips and you're going to guide those hips down. So whether you're super high or super low, depending on what works for you, you're going to settle. Whenever you find your space, you're going to take your arms up. You call them goddess arms or cactus arms. The elbows are the same height as the shoulders. Your fingers are separated. Your palms are flat forward. And you are in your goddess. So here we work on breathing. This is a challenge pose. We've done a lot of work in hips and shoulders, so we should be good. Low back and the twist. stay where it's good for you. So now as you come down or stay high, start to focus on breathing. Hold it here. Try to smile. Keep it together. Good. Hands onto the hips. Ah! Everybody should be screaming. Toes forward. Find yourself palms in front of the heart. Drop the chin to the chest. As we do that, start to breathe in and out of the nose. It will take 3 breaths to quiet the heart. And then release those hands down to the hips. We're going to come into a comfortable seated posture. So, come down onto the mat. Find yourself, again, reconnected, cross-legged pose. If your legs are better off extended, you find your space. Hands onto the knees or along the outside of the hips. Find what works best for you. You can do little neck rolls here. Shoulder lifts up to the, release back down, and take it down to the back. So again, shoulder rolls, working on releasing stress out of the neck. That's our last space where we like to hold things. So find it a little bit choppy at first, and then make the motion a little bit more fluid. Again, if you have tension and stress in the shoulders, we want to let it go. It doesn't serve us. Let it be free. And then switch it to forward shoulder roll. So we're going to take it up, and again, a little choppy at first, but as we release it, we want to let it go. And then slowly bring those shoulders to stillness. Drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Lift that shoulder up. Pull that arm out and away. Gently just moving it in the opposite direction. And then come back to center. Bring that left shoulder up. Drop that left ear. And as you do that, pull that right arm out. Again, you can feel these on the side of the neck. Letting that stress go. And then bringing that hand back. We're going to go back to that original breath here that we did, where we're going to take our hands onto the knees first, pull up the crown of the head, shoulders up to the ears, onto the back, and then release here. Press the belly button in. Right hand onto the heart, left hand on top of the heart also. And then close the eyes. Release the tongue. Go back into that breath, that slow inhale through the nose, and then release out to the mouth. Gently find the flow of the inhale and the exhale. Remember, on the inhale, finding yourself expanding the belly, and on the exhale, deflating the belly. And as we set the intention of the practice, here again, find yourself being surrounded by peace, happiness, harmony, and love. And with each breath, find that expanding, not out just from your heart and from all around you and through you, but continuing to separate it and send it out all around. And then just take one more breath in, really deep inhale, and really big exhale. And then take those hands down to the mat. Release yourself into Shavasana. So you'll take your body all the way back down. Release the palms outside the hips, palms facing up. Drop those feet. Take your gaze up to the ceiling. If the lights are on, close the lights. Shavasana. The most important pose of the class here. Reconnecting all the work that we've just done, whether it's been through movement, through breath, through even the mudras, everything that we have done. And now settle here. I'd like to do my little chime for you guys while you are. It's a chakra chime. So as you come into this final pose, let the sounds of each of the chimes work through you. And begin to deepen the breath. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. Begin to move the head from side to side. Find yourself bringing more awareness back to the room. And when you are ready, take a nice deep breath in. Bring your knees into the chest and roll over and settle onto one side. Here again, focus on the breath. Slow inhale and exhale through the nose. Come back to the present moment. When you are ready, bring your hands in prayer in front of your heart. We're going to take that breath again. Clearing breath. Inhaling through the nose and releasing out through the mouth, this time with a bigger release. Letting go of all that no longer serves you. When you are ready again, find yourself taking another deep breath in. Bring the knees to the chest and come on up. As you find yourself moving into a comfortable seated posture, again, placing the hands onto the knees, palms facing up. Connect your pointer finger and your thumb. Here we settle into our space, again elongating that spine. Get into your comfortable posture. Close the eyes. Listen to the breath. Show gratitude for the practice, for the release, and for the benefit. Here we close the practice with the sound of Om. If you'd like to join me, inhaling Om. Bring your hands in prayer position again, elbows out to the side in front of the heart. Take a smile to your face. Thank you so much for joining me. We bring the thumbs to the brow. Namaste. Into your divine light. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Hope to see you guys soon. Check out Karmic Voyage. Bye.